My name is Brian Black, and I live here in Tennessee. We're sitting out on the deck of my home, and I'm an author nowadays. I'm a speaker. I'm retired from my work as a clergyman and a therapist, and a whole bunch of other things, and spirituality and yoga. So we are in McMinnville. Well, I lived here 10 years ago when we were first building the lodges over at the Isha Institute of Inner Sciences. And those are places where people can sleep when they come to do the yoga programs. And then I moved back to Michigan. I moved down here just a little over 2 years ago. In fact, exactly 2 years ago today, I bought this house.
Wow.
So that's kind of serendipitous. I got the house up for sale, and the reason for that is I found what I was looking for. So I've called off the search, and I don't need to search anymore. Well, as you know, I wrote a book, Magic Flight: A Story of Bliss Reborn, and yeah, it's a story about a young boy who goes to see a magician at a church hall, and is so impressed he decides to become one. And then in the process of becoming a professional, he loses touch with the magic that he knew as a child. And then the rest of the story is how that affects him, what that does to his life, and then how his life in turn brings him back, and he ends up rediscovering the bliss bigger and better than ever. And that's actually my story. I didn't really know just how heavily it would return until I moved down here and had the experiences that I've had being able to live 5 miles down the road from Isha, and also got introduced to another guru named Muji. And I got introduced to his master's master, actually, probably 5 years ago, maybe longer, maybe more like 7 or 8 years ago, when a friend of mine who's also a retired clergyman gave me a book about Ramana Maharishi. The word Maharishi means ultimate rishi, and that the rishis were the original 7 disciples of Shiva. And Shiva landed here on this planet 15,000 years ago, which predates every religion that we know about on this planet. By far, Judaism, Christianity, Hinduism. Hinduism actually was never a religion. Hinduism became a religion when when Islam showed up in that region of the world, in the Indus Valley, and because it was just really a body of knowledge that happened to show up in the Indus Valley, which is how it got the name Hinduism. But anyway, I don't want to go into all the history of religions. The whole idea of a rishi is that, you know, these are the beings that were willing to sit with Shiva and learn yoga and then spread it throughout the world. There's a book, I think Deepak Chopra recently wrote a book about the return of the rishis. Ramana Maharishi comes from a tradition of yoga called Jnana. It's pronounced different ways, but I'm going to say it like that for now. G-N-A-N-A. And it's one of 4 yogas. There's really only 4 kinds. There's not, you know, Ashtanga and Bikram and all these other kinds of yoga are really just labels that people have slapped on to. The yoga is, because yoga is really about us, you know, it's about you. So it's the science of you and me. And so there's one for your body, which is Hatha or Karma Yoga. There's one for your emotions, which is Bhakti Yoga. There's one for your energy, which is Kriya Yoga. And the one for your mind is Jnana Yoga. So I was kind of like, for me, that was the last piece that I discovered with the help of Muji. Not that Sadhguru was not doing the same thing, but he said something very interesting to me in various ways over these 15 years, because when he says something important, you want to listen. And he said, you're all awake right now, but you're pretending to be asleep. And so you need to be coaxed. Well, what? We're all awake already? Yes, we are. And we're all pretending to be asleep. So the reason I'm leaving is because I don't need to be here anymore. So we're living in an amazing time right now. The bottom line is that we are all awake. And something else Sadhguru said is that he was speaking to about 800 of us, and he said, you know, every bit of yoga that you're doing is only for one purpose, and that's willingness. If you were 100% willing, right now you'd all be enlightened. And I swear that the energy of his satsangs comes through YouTube. And the energy of the satsang is such that you stop thinking about the past. You don't think about the future. You don't even judge this moment, what's going on now. And when you do that, really do that, you'll have this experience of your being without your mind. And of course this is something Sadhguru's been doing with me for 15 years, is creating a space between me and my mind, between me and my body, and between me and my emotions, so I could find me. And that's what it is. Really, what a surprise, what a beautiful, wonderful cosmic joke that, you know, as the Course in Miracles puts it, you've been created as the thing you seek.